When we got Ahoy Senior, we ran him at a good level and he won a couple of times. Then we ran him over hurdles and he won rather easily. So we decided to do one more run before the end of the season. And I said to the owners, why don't we go to Aintree? I know it's going to be a very big race. And he led from the front, 66-1, he won. So it was a bit surreal, really.
Ahoy Senior out in front all the way, and he's going to stay there. Ahoy Senior.
But this season when he came back, he fluffed his lines a bit, he was all over the place and it really was a bit of a disaster.
It is Ahoy Senior, the early leader.
You know, you talk about racing having highs and lows and really our hopes of the Gold Cup seem to be a little bit fragile at that point.
And now Ahoy Senior has dropped back to last place and is a little bit outpaced as they come to 4 from home.
His first run back was at Wetherby and it wasn't really very good. He was like a bull in a china shop. He was so excited to be back on the track. He shot forward and he tried to jump and he wasn't thinking about what he was doing. And I've sort of spent the whole season saying it's okay. I know that he's a good horse. I know it's just that he has to rebuild and get his confidence back. You can't tell horses things. You've just got to let them work it out for themselves. Because the thing is, if they make a mistake, it upsets them, you know, it makes them anxious and it's like a downward spiral.
I once heard a man, Mickey Macklon, saying that class is permanent and there was nothing visibly wrong with him, so I thought it was just a case of needing a wee bit of time to come to himself. He started the season a wee bit slow at Wetherby and he improved a lot from Wetherby to Aintree. I thought he ran a very good race in the King George at Kempton on Boxing Day. It was the best he jumped really all year.
You know, the track at Kempton doesn't really suit him, it's very sharp, but it got Ahoy Senior's mind back in the right place. And even though he didn't win, I knew that he was on the way back.
Started off Wetherby in the Charlie Hall. We had high hopes. Obviously things didn't go quite according to plan. I don't know exactly why not, but still kept faith in him.
Honestly, I never lost faith. I just feel like there's a whole lot of fate played into it. How they picked him at the sales and how we ended up being the first to come and see him. And, you know, I just think there's so much fate in this journey that there's no way I could lose faith in this horse.
It was actually Bruce and Karen Weimer, his owners, said, let's give him some more practice around Cheltenham. So we went to Cheltenham at the end of January and he was just perfect. Jumped really, really well, delighted with him. There's still a little bit better to come, but I think in between that run and even now, he seems to be getting better.
Watching that race that day, I think my heart rate was at 150, I think. I think it meant an awful lot to all of us and it was an amazing, amazing day. I don't think I stopped crying all the way home, actually.
Ahoy Senior and Derek Fox are going through and go on.
It was so emotional, given the timing of what happened with Peter, Lucinda's father. The reason we started down this horse racing journey was because I'd lost my father, so for Hank to come out of that race on top was just very, very emotional.
I'd lost my father just before Cheltenham, just the week before, and Dad and I were very, very close. Dad had a share in Ahoy Senior, and when Bruce and Karen bought Ahoy Senior, they said, we'll only share it with one person, that's your father. Obviously he wasn't there to see him win at Cheltenham, but he always asked about him and he always just loved it when Hank did well. And it's funny, all through the time that Dad was ill and in the time straight after he passed away, being able to come back to the yard and be able to be with the horses, it just helps. It's like they're the best therapy ever. I've got 100 horses here comforting me.
When we went to Aintree that first time with Hank, Lucinda asked us before he ran, do you want a runner in the Grand National or the Gold Cup? And I knew the Cheltenham Gold Cup was the pinnacle of racing.
We've obviously won a Grand National before and the yard has expanded from that, but the Cheltenham Gold Cup really is the best race in the country for the best racehorses. It would be amazing for us up here in Northern racing in general. We're quite confident that he is back to his best now, and we're just hugely privileged to have a horse to go down and be able to run in that race.
I think we all pinch ourselves a little bit. You know, how often do you have a horse in the Gold Cup? I mean, this is the first horse we've ever had that's good enough to go for the Gold Cup, so, you know, everyone's very, very excited about it.
Should be the dream, isn't it, really? It's to be everything to win a Gold Cup, but I have massive faith in the horse. I think he's a massive amount of ability and, you know, I'm really looking forward to it.
The Gold Cup is the pinnacle. It's the one race that as a national hunt trainer, it would just be a dream. I don't know if it's even a dream because I never thought we'd be able to achieve it. Having a horse like Ahoy Senior, it's a pleasure and it's an honour to have a horse like that. We've been building the yard and building the strength, and Ahoy Senior is leading it. He's leading it fantastically. For him, I just feel that we're back on the up again. I just feel that he's in the right mental space now, and I'm just looking forward to Cheltenham now.